Do you ever get the strange feeling that the world suddenly became faster than the plans most people made for their lives and businesses? And if that feeling is real, then the question every founder should quietly ask themselves is this: what happens to your company, your income, and your family if the next economic shock arrives sooner than anyone expects? Because if you look around right now, the signals are everywhere, even if people pretend they are not seeing them. Markets swing violently from optimism to fear. Industries that looked stable 2 years ago suddenly look uncertain, and technology moves so quickly that what felt like an advantage last year can feel outdated today. Now, let me ask you something honestly, especially if you are running a business in Singapore or Malaysia where competition is intense and margins can be tight. When the environment becomes unstable, do you actually feel more confident about the future of your business? Or do you sometimes feel like you are trying to keep a moving system balanced while the ground beneath it slowly shifts? And here is the second question many founders quietly think about but rarely say in public. If a serious disruption hits the market again tomorrow, would your current structure absorb the shock and keep moving forward? Or would it force you into difficult decisions you never expected to face? Now, if you are still here listening to this conversation, stay with me until the end of this video for three simple reasons. First, because we are going to unpack why the traditional idea of financial security is quietly breaking down for entrepreneurs today, even though many people still behave as if the old system still works. Second, I will show you three structural shifts that a small group of founders has already started making to protect themselves from the volatility that is becoming normal in this decade. And third, because once you see the pattern clearly, you stop reacting emotionally to economic uncertainty and begin positioning yourself so that uncertainty actually creates opportunity rather than fear. And before we go deeper into this discussion, if you find conversations like this useful, take a moment to click like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this with another founder or business owner who is navigating the same unpredictable landscape. Because the more people who understand what is really happening beneath the headlines, the fewer people get blindsided when the next shift arrives. Now, here is something most people misunderstand about financial security. They think security comes from stability, but in reality, security comes from structure. Let me explain this in a way that is extremely simple. Imagine two founders running businesses that earn roughly the same revenue. Both operate in the same country. Both sell to similar customers. Both appear successful from the outside. But when a crisis appears in the market, one founder panics while the other remains calm and adjusts direction. Why does that happen? Because one business was built like a glass house. The other was built like a fortress. A glass house looks impressive when the weather is calm, but the moment a storm arrives, cracks begin to appear everywhere. A fortress, on the other hand, does not depend on perfect weather to remain standing. It was designed to survive pressure. And if you look carefully at founders who consistently survive economic cycles, you will notice something very interesting. They do not simply focus on growth, they focus on resilience. Because growth without resilience is fragile. Resilience without growth may feel slow, but it creates stability that compounds over time. The first structural shift, therefore, begins with something that many people consider boring, yet it is one of the most powerful financial decisions a founder can make. Breathing room. Most businesses fail not because they lack intelligence or talent. They fail because they operate too close to the edge. One delayed payment from a client, one supplier issue, one unexpected expense. Suddenly, the entire financial structure begins to wobble. And when that happens, decisions become emotional rather than strategic. Instead of choosing the right opportunity, the founder grabs the fastest solution. Instead of negotiating confidently, the founder accepts whatever is offered. Instead of thinking long term, the founder tries to survive the next month. This is why breathing room changes everything. When a business has financial space, decisions become calmer. You can reject the wrong deal, you can wait for the right client, you can experiment without fear. And suddenly, uncertainty becomes manageable instead of terrifying. Now let's talk about the second structural shift, which challenges an idea that many of us grew up believing. For decades, people believed that one stable income stream equals security. But in the modern economy, one income stream often represents one point of failure. Think of a table standing on one leg. It might look balanced for a moment, but as soon as pressure appears, the entire structure collapses. Now imagine a table supported by several legs. Even if one leg weakens, the structure still stands. This is how resilient businesses operate today. The founders who sleep peacefully during volatile markets rarely depend on a single source of revenue. They build ecosystems. Some revenue may come from services, another stream may come from products, another from partnerships, another aspect of intellectual property, another from investments, and when one slows down, the others quietly continue carrying the weight. Now, something interesting happens psychologically when a founder begins creating multiple income channels. The moment you earn money from a second or third source, your relationship with uncertainty changes. You stop thinking like someone who depends on a single opportunity. You start thinking like someone who can create opportunities. And that shift in mindset is extremely powerful because it replaces dependency with creativity. And if this conversation is helping you see your business from a different perspective, click like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with another founder who might benefit from this discussion. Because the ideas that help entrepreneurs survive volatile cycles are rarely the ones most people are talking about publicly. Now we arrive at the third structural shift, and this one is quietly the most important for long-term resilience. Your business model will change many times throughout your life, but your ability to adapt travels with you everywhere. Think about your career or business like a smartphone. The apps on your phone change constantly, but the operating system determines how well the entire device functions. If the operating system becomes outdated, even the best apps cannot run properly. In the same way, your job title or current business model is simply one application. Your skills and thinking patterns represent the operating system. When your operating system is more robust, you can run many different applications. You can move into new industries. You can adapt to new technologies. You can respond to market shifts with confidence. But if your operating system remains stagnant, every change in the environment feels threatening. This is why the founders who thrive in uncertain decades are rarely the ones who memorize strategies. They are the ones who continuously upgrade their thinking. They study patterns. They learn faster. They observe how systems evolve. And when others freeze in confusion, they calmly adjust direction. Now, when you combine these three structural ideas together, a powerful picture begins to emerge. A financial fortress provides breathing room. Multiple income streams reduce dependency. Continuous skill upgrades create adaptability. When these three elements work together, something remarkable happens. Uncertainty stops feeling like an enemy. Instead, it becomes a landscape you know how to navigate. Markets may shake, industries may change, but you remain stable because your structure was designed to handle movement. And if you have stayed with me until this point, take a moment to click like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone building a business today, because conversations like this help founders remain grounded when the world becomes noisy. Now, before we close, let me leave you with a thought that many successful entrepreneurs eventually realize. Economic storms are not unusual. They have always existed. Every decade brings recessions, disruptions, and unexpected changes. But whether those storms become your personal crisis depends entirely on how your life and business are structured. Some people wait for certainty before acting, others quietly prepare while conditions are calm, and the people who prepare early rarely panic later. If you want to continue exploring ideas like this with other founders who are serious about building resilient businesses in an unpredictable world, join the Destiny Architect Telegram chat, where we continue these conversations privately with entrepreneurs who want clarity rather than noise. I will